This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Welcome in on the news at 7 on RTV6. We are looking at a dry, cloudy, and cool Friday night. All you may need if you go out tonight is a jacket. But starting tomorrow, you will probably want to have an umbrella handy. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Amanda Starantino here with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. We know a lot of rain is coming tomorrow, so get out if you can tonight.
An umbrella, a backup umbrella, and a jacket with a hood on. Let that water roll off.
You're going to need the rain boots, too.
A place you can stay dry. And I think if you're headed to a college football game to Purdue or Ball State tomorrow, you go with that attitude, right, that you're just going to battle the elements. Cloudy and temperatures in the 50s right now. That's pretty comfortable. A nice night for Friday football frenzy. Some games underway right now. 51 in Peru, 50 in Lafayette. During the evening hours, our temperatures will fall off into the low 50s in Indianapolis. Some of the outlying areas may make it into the upper 40s. It's not too windy. Let's talk about our rain chances. After midnight, a slow increase in the rain chance, and then whammo. As you wake up, we get going tomorrow from south to north. The rain will overspread central Indiana, and we'll all see rain. At 1:30 in the morning, a few sprinkles to the south. We wake up at 7 a.m. from Terre Haute to Indy to Richmond. Then that expands to the north and picks up in pace a little bit. 10 a.m. widespread rain, western half of the state, and there we are early afternoon. I'll finish the timeline for you coming up in just a bit. Temperatures pretty locked into the mid-50s while the rain is falling in the afternoon. We slowly warm up even into the low to mid-60s by 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
Now to a developing story. A suspended Catholic priest is now charged in a Hamilton County sexual abuse investigation. The Archdiocese of Indianapolis suspended Father David Marcotte from ministry in February after the allegations first surfaced. Court documents say Marcotte sent inappropriate pictures to the juvenile victim and engaged in sexual contact via various social media platforms, including apparent attempts to recruit others to participate. Marcotte is charged with 3 felonies: child solicitation, vicarious sexual gratification, and dissemination of matter harmful to minors. A special prosecutor will review the death of a man shot by Metro police officers. The officers say they shot Deshaun Downing during a traffic stop on August 2nd because Downing pulled a gun on them. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears requested a special prosecutor, saying he wants to avoid an appearance of impropriety. The case will now be overseen by Mark Hollingsworth, Chief Deputy Prosecutor in Jackson County. Building a stronger link between local businesses and police. We have details tonight on a new resource Metro Police are using to catch criminals faster. It's called B-Link Indy. Here's how it works. Businesses give permission for the department to have live or real-time access to their surveillance networks. If someone calls 911 in the area, officers will be able to watch the incident as it unfolds with just a few clicks on the computer. One of the first businesses to sign up is Goodwill. Cameras are set up outside their store on 38th Street. Shoppers and people living in the area tell us they think this program is a great idea.
It helped lower the crime, and like I said, so much stuff going around today, you know, and I will feel safer.
I think that's awesome. We got to bring back security in the neighborhood. We have to. I mean, this is our future, our kids. I mean, this is where we live at. This is where we go to work to protect. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
People with security cameras outside their home are also able to sign up. All they have to do is report where their camera is. Investigators will then know where to start when looking for evidence in solving cases. RTV6 is getting answers about the future of a collapsed building in Wayne County. A woman reached out to us wanting to know what's being done after months of waiting for the building to be demolished. It sits at the corner of Cumberland and Davis Streets in Dublin, Indiana. It collapsed on July 12th. Everything that was once inside the old building is now scattered all over the yard and street. Patricia McDaniel owns an antique shop across the street and says customers always ask about the building.
The first thing they say to me is, what is the matter with that building? How long has it been? It's an eyesore. It was 15 weeks today, 105 days, almost a third of a year. And so I'm just really frustrated.
A Town of Dublin spokeswoman says the owner asked for an additional 2 weeks beyond the August 25th 30-day notice he was given to tear down the unsafe building, but he was unable to get anything done. The town has now taken over the project. A Newcastle company is expected to begin demolition next week. Thousands of Indiana GM workers and their colleagues across the country can finally get back to work. Late today, the United Auto Workers approved a new contract ending a 40-day strike that crippled GM's U.S. production. There are about 7,000 UAW workers at GM plants in Kokomo, Marion, Fort Wayne, and Bedford. And we've just learned a second Hoosier has died from the flu. The Indiana State Department of Health says both patients who have died have been over 65 years old. The Marion County Public Health Department reported the first flu-related death of the year earlier this week. The State Department of Health did not say in which county the second victim lived. We are less than 2 weeks away from Election Day, and a new poll gives Democrat Joe Hogsett a commanding lead over Republican Jim Merritt in the race for mayor of Indianapolis. The survey was taken by IndyPolitics.org and Mason Strategies. It shows that 57% of likely voters support keeping Hogsett in office. Only 23% say they support Merritt. 4% are backing Libertarian candidate Douglas McNaughton. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. Early voting begins tomorrow at 4 Marion County locations. That's Washington, Perry, and Warren Township Government Centers and Craner Park. You will be able to vote at those places every day through November 3rd. Early voting continues at the Marion County Clerk's office through noon November 4th. This is a municipal election, meaning you will be casting votes in mayor and council races and some school referendums. An upcoming book once again puts the spotlight on chaos behind the scenes at the Trump White House. And the author has already been at the center of some bombshell allegations before. Plus, the CDC is giving us a snapshot of where the deadliest drug in the United States is having the most impact. You're watching the news at 7 on RTV6. Only on RTV6 News.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Hundreds gathered in Baltimore today to honor the life of Congressman Elijah Cummings, who died last week. And among those eulogizing the civil rights leader, 2 former presidents. ABC News' Rachel Scott is in Washington with more.
The late Congressman Elijah Cummings making a final return to his beloved Baltimore. Inside the church where he worshiped, families and dignitaries paid tribute to the mahogany Marylander.
He held himself to a high standard, and that is why I've called him the North Star of Congress, our guiding light.
Fueled by a passion for justice, Cummings was a fierce defender of his district, pushing back when President Trump called his city a rat and rodent-infested mess. He served in Congress since 1996, rising as a national figure. But it was history and humble beginnings that would shape Cummings' career. The civil rights leader never lost sight that the same kid taunted by white mobs as he integrated a South Baltimore pool could become a widely respected congressman. The impact of his work can be measured today by the hundreds that showed up to pay tribute. His constituents joined by lawmakers and 2 commander-in-chiefs, Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama.
His legacy is how ardently he honored his oath to protect and defend the Constitution.
The Honorable Elijah E. Cummings. Elijah Cummings was honorable before he was elected to office.
Cummings, who was serving in his 13th term in the House, died last week due to health challenges at 68. And Congressman Cummings was the son of sharecroppers. He told the New York Times when he brought his father to the U.S. Capitol, his father said to him that his swearing in showed him what could have been possible if only he had the opportunity. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
A senior Trump administration official is about to release a book the author hopes will convince people not to re-elect the president. The book is called The Warning. It will reportedly contain direct quotes from Donald Trump spoken behind closed doors. The publisher says the anonymous author was a participant in meetings with the president and had access to internal notes. The book is written by the same official who wrote a 2018 New York Times op-ed claiming to be part of an internal resistance working against some of the president's impulses. The book is due out November 19th. Fentanyl remains the deadliest drug in the United States, but in some areas of the country, meth is killing more people. Those new statistics were released in a report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Nearly 39% of all drug overdose deaths were from fentanyl in 2017. That's a 10% increase from 2016. Heroin was the second leader of fatal drug overdoses. Research shows meth had a greater impact in the western half of the country, while more people overdosed and died on fentanyl in the east. The relentless battle that seems never ending coming up. We're checking on the progress or lack of progress as wildfires scorch thousands of acres.
And lots of rain to our south. Tropical moisture from Olga. This is drifting to the north and east. We'll talk about when we get rid of the rain. We'll have a lot tomorrow, but after that, we'll start to dry out.
So hurry in while prices are falling. The governor of California has declared a state of emergency as wildfires ravage several parts of the state. The largest, the Kincaid fire, burning in wine country, growing to more than 20,000 acres. And tonight there are new areas where homes are being destroyed. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez reports from Santa Clarita, one of the hardest hit communities.
Yet another wildfire igniting in Southern California. The Sade fire now burning in San Diego County. People given just minutes to evacuate.
So please don't delay and get out of that area.
North of Los Angeles, several fires raging out of control. The largest, the Tick fire, scorching more than 4,000 acres, destroying homes and threatening thousands more.
I've never seen anything this bad.
Flames jumping this freeway overnight. Firefighters struggling to get an upper hand as powerful Santa Ana winds with gusts up to 70 miles an hour erratically spread burning embers.
When we saw it, it's surreal.
And in Northern California, a relentless battle against the massive Kincaid fire.
There's also possible power lines down in the area.
We're now learning the more than 21,000-acre inferno, which destroyed at least 49 homes, started beneath a power transmission tower left activated by the utility company PG&E, despite widespread preemptive blackouts ahead of the extreme fire danger.
We became aware of a transmission level outage in the area of the fire.
And more outages could be on the way because while the powerful winds you can really see blowing through what's left of the second floor of this home are expected to calm down in this area later today, Northern California is bracing for its strongest wind event in years starting this weekend. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Santa Clarita, California. And that is my hometown, so my parents are telling me just how windy it is and how they're watching the wind just consistently change direction. So prayers for that community and everyone dealing with that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
California.
I think when we watch these things on TV, the emotion of it and the danger, the scary nature just, doesn't come through the screen sometimes. For us, rain and lots of it coming from the south. Actually, a tropical storm, Olga, is the storm's name. 40-mile-per-hour winds, so minimal tropical storm status. But you see the stream of moisture to the north, and the track of the remnants will bring low pressure right up through central Indiana as we get to the weekend. Sunday, 2 a.m., so just after midnight Saturday night, rolling through central Indiana. And as that pulls away, that will take the rain shield with it. I think we dry out most of Sunday, dry, if not nearly all of Sunday. Prior to that, though, quite a bit of rain. 1 to 3 inches of rain, as I showed you off the top of the newscast, not before midnight. It'll be before sunrise tomorrow that the rain really starts to kick in. 61 and windy tomorrow. To go along with our rain, we'll see wind gusts 30 to potentially 40 miles per hour. That'll make it challenging to use an umbrella. 62 on Sunday. Any showers very early in the morning should pull away after that and we dry out. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning from Terre Haute to Indy to nearly Richmond, the rain lifting to the north. As we go through mid-morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, widespread rain, and some of this a little bit more intense. There's football being played in West Lafayette and in Muncie tomorrow. You have to go ready to battle the elements and stay as dry as you can. Still ongoing through the evening hours, and then as we go overnight, as I mentioned, that will start to pull away. How much rain will be left behind? If you have a rain gauge, go ahead and empty it now so you got a clean slate, and then as you look at it by late tomorrow night, early Sunday morning, 2 to 3 inches in most cases. We'll put a broad brush of 1 to 3 inches with these isolated higher amounts expected as we go through that prolonged period of rain. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon, 52, that's at noon, and temperatures in the evening hours will start to climb. And I think between 5 and probably 10 tomorrow night, we may get a couple more degrees out of that. 51, windy and wet through the game in West Lafayette. Ball State Cardinals, temperatures in the 50s with the rain around as well. Hopefully you don't have to come down to a field goal attempt to win a ball game, because that wind will be a great challenge along with just holding on to the ball that's all wet. 30-mile-per-hour gusts expected. Sunday, the gray of cloud cover in the morning. Even that begins to break up as we get into the afternoon. Start to see better conditions. Sunday, temperature of 62. Early next week, temperatures cooling off. More significantly by Wednesday, 40% chance of rain. And then as we get to Halloween, I'd say Wednesday night and even Thursday, we may mix in a couple of snow showers with rain showers. 48 the temperature. 7-day planner as the end of the week next week arrives. Temperatures will be in the 20s. For morning lows, we'll go from 48, the modest high temperature on Thanksgiving, to 28 on Friday morning.
Okay.
Plan ahead to stay warm.
You're going to want a warm costume. A new mom was having a hard time, but her day went in a much better direction thanks to an Uber driver. Up next, the act of kindness that turned the two women into fast friends.
TV bundle.
The man behind so many unforgettable characters over the years is coming to a very special event in Indianapolis. Comedian Martin Short will be the headliner for the annual fundraiser for Cancer Support Community Central Indiana. Their fundraiser is called Laughing Matters, and it will celebrate its 20th year next year. The show will be April 25th of 2020 at Old National Center. Tickets for the show go on sale 1 week from today. We have all the info on the tickets at theindychannel.com. What's better on a fall weekend than some football action? For a lot of fans, one of the best parts is being right in the middle of a roaring stadium. But this year, several NFL teams are tailoring their venues for a very distinct group of spectators who otherwise might not be able to join in. Ashar Kwashari has the story.
The sights and sounds of attending a sporting event can make it an unforgettable experience.
For a lot of people, that can be really, really overwhelming.
Enter the quiet room.
This is a place to go and a place to be safe and a kind of just a little break to get away from it all.
The Seattle Seahawks are one of the NFL teams to put one in.
So any fan can come in here.
Tracy Schneider's 17-year-old son, Ben, has autism.
Sensory issues are a big challenge for him, and I know what that looks like as a mom. And you want to make the world a little bit easier for your kids to navigate.
She helped provide input for this space because not only is she the mom of a child with autism, but she's also married to the Seahawks general manager. Schneider says the room is meant to help people with autism.
And this was definitely inspired by my son.
Anxiety, PTSD, and other sensory disorders.
We still have a TV, so people can still watch what's happening out on the field.
The Seahawks room features dimmable overhead lighting, hooded chairs, a calming bubble wall, and a fiber optic waterfall curtain.
And they slowly change colors, and they're meant to be, they're meant to be touched.
The Seahawks are also the first NFL team to offer autism kits.
They have a schedule of the game, know when to expect fireworks.
The goal, to provide a safe space for anyone who may need a temporary reprieve, without making them feel like they're missing out.
Just knowing that is supporting our fans and making them feel welcome, I think is just huge.
Reporting from Seattle, I'm Usher Qureshi.
And in addition to the Seahawks, the Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings, and Jacksonville Jaguars have all unveiled rooms designed for people who require a calm, quiet place away from the roar of the game. Well, Google says it's getting better at knowing what you want. They're using new technology to help figure out what you really mean when you type in a search. It's a language processing method nicknamed Cybert. Instead of just using keywords from your search and basing results on those, Cybert looks at the order of the words to determine intent. Google executives say this will be most helpful with more complex or specific searches. The selfie is out of this world, literally. The Curiosity rover paused while doing scientific experiments on Mars to take a panoramic shot. This is actually a combination of 57 images. They were taken on October 11th by a camera on the end of the rover's robotic arm. The combined photo shows the rover's previous locations where the rover drilled. It commemorates the second time the rover has performed a wet chemistry experiment. That means most of the analysis is done in a liquid phase. Interesting. Well, this is the story of two moms and one very special Uber ride. Nikki is from Kansas. She came to a Florida hospital to have her baby, John Henry. After John Henry was born, doctors discovered some health complications, which meant a longer stay in the hospital. Last week, an Uber driver named Belinda picked up Nikki at the hospital. Nikki asked to be driven to a store to buy a new outfit for her baby. Belinda says she could tell Nikki was having a tough time. Belinda not only drove her to a consignment shop, she also went on a shopping spree with Nikki and picked up the entire tab for 30 clothing items for John Henry.
I cried.
Yeah.
So, cried a lot, didn't I?
And they were like, how long have you known her? And I said, I don't know, 15 minutes.
What a good lady. The new friends say they plan on keeping in touch. It's really amazing, though, when you hear those stories and realize the impact you can have on someone so quickly.
Yeah, and they'll be friends for life, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get to know the little one as well. For us, I want you to meet Thor. Thor is in command. He's in the chair.
He's owning that chair.
Isn't that funny? He looks so soft. Thor, thanks for posing for us. If you're going for a walk this evening, it's dry. High school football game weather is good. Very nice.
He's
Very
one of those
wet
ones
tomorrow.
you just want to cuddle up with.
Yeah.
Cutie. All right, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you right here at 11. Good night.